One of the things I always loved about you, and I don't know if this comes from, I read somewhere, maybe it comes from your dad, but you were fearless physically, comedically, and you are like, you know, you would, if the joke called for you as Andy's little sister to go charging down the aisle and leap and hit him so that he falls over.
All right, you know what? It's Judgment Day, bitch.
What? Come on! Stacey, don't do this. Stacey, no! Stacey!
I love you!
Stacey, no! Stacey!
I look at that footage now. It's online.
It's a good jump. It's a good jump.
You leap like a leopard. You hit Andy. He goes over. It's one of the biggest laughs I've heard in studio because the running joke was you have a crush on me, and I'm always trying to politely explain that I'm. And then you think Andy's whatever getting in the way, and you attack, and you would give these great speeches, but you
Written by the great Brian Stack.
By the great Brian Stack, and you would leap, and I remember you. I hope it's still not the case, but there used to be this kind of long ago.
I don't know what you're going to say.
I know. Me neither. I'm excited.
There used to be serfs in the medieval period.
Oh, we're going far that part.
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
here we
no.
go.
In a sense that women don't. You got to be ladylike. Do you know what I mean? That if a guy's, I mean, I remembered my mom being a little bit that way, which is if I'm being completely inappropriate, it was funny. If one of my sisters was doing it, it was like, now, hold on, that's not really. And it was a thing. She came from a very traditional Irish Catholic background, and you've got to be a lady. And so.
Yeah, well, you bring up my dad, but I do think it's true. Like your family of origin just helps you kind of decide the boundaries of your life, right? Like what you're allowed to do. And I had a kind of like a paper moon relationship with my dad where he was very like, on the move and took me with him kind of vibe. So he definitely instilled a lot of confidence and almost like a hustle that didn't feel very gendered at the time. It wasn't like I was supposed to be this or, you know, he kind of, both my parents were very funny and there was a lot of encouragement to speak my mind, to kind of be a little bit of a challenger, which I didn't think was unusual until I did learn other people's systems. Like every family is a country with its own set of rules, and you don't know that that's true until you leave your country and you're like, oh, your family, you know, your dad is the one that, you know, everybody ignores, or you're the older brother is right. The older brother's moods dictate the house, you know, dictate the mood of the house, or oh, in your family, you have to be polite and never tell the truth. Whatever is everyone's version of their thing. And I came from a family, I have to say, that really encouraged joking and teasing, which is a very Boston thing.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I left that family and went to college that I realized that's not everybody's way of life.
Well, I remember my shock being coming out to Los Angeles and hanging out with, meeting Lisa Kudrow and hanging out and going over to her house, and her family would talk. They lived in Tarzana. Her dad's a doctor. They would talk very openly about sex, and it would freak me out. It still does. Like, sex has never been discussed or acknowledged in my home with my parents. It was never, ever. And if something remotely sexy came on TV, it was, you know, like we could all see our breath.
You are an actual stork baby.
Yeah. And then we'd just all get out of the room as fast as we could. And so, and to this day, I mean, nothing, you know, people don't talk about that stuff.
Or have you ever seen families, I'm thinking of a specific family, when it would be their birthday, they would stand up and they'd give the most heartfelt toast, like, you are my sister, you're the person who, and it's so heartfelt, and you're like, this happens once, and it happens at somebody's funeral,
maybe
when everybody's left. Like, this is so intense, to like the eye contact in real, like, teasing for me is a love language. Like, the more I like you, the more I'll tease. And manners are for people that I don't know or don't even really like, hi, how are you? But the tease, to me, shows that there's a familiar way, and it's just the ultimate sign of love. But that's not the case with a lot.
No.
I've learned the hard way.
Yeah, I remember dating someone once a long time ago and meeting her parents for the first time, and I said something, like some kind of teasing mock put down of her, like, yeah, well, keep working on that. And her mother went, we don't do that in this house.
Oh!
We don't put people down. And I remember thinking, I need to go.
Yeah.
I need to leave right now because that's not going to fly.
But the Irish in me loves laughing and crying right next to each other. That's my favorite thing, is being sad and then someone saying something truly ridiculous or out of pocket in the moment that makes everybody laugh. That's, I think, very Irish. Just getting as low as you can and going to the lowest basement and then finding the joke there and like shooting it up so that everybody can drink more.
Yeah. It's like everything we learned was...
So there's a reason to toast.
That was just implied.
Yeah.